You know that spark your teen used to have? The light in their eyes, the belly laughs, the curiosity and the energy? And now it's like someone flipped a switch. They're anxious. They're shutting down. They're constantly overwhelmed and not just themselves. As a parent, it's heartbreaking to watch. You've done all the right things. You've talked to doctors. Maybe you've tried therapy. Maybe even considered medication. But nothing seems to really fix it. And deep down, you're wondering, is this really just about brain chemistry? Here's the thing most providers won't tell you. The whole chemical imbalance theory is completely outdated. What if your child's mental health struggles weren't rooted in brain chemistry at all, but in the stressed, overwhelmed nervous system that's been running on empty for way too long? Right now, we're in the middle of a mental health crisis among teens. According to the CDC, nearly half of all high schoolers feel persistently sad or hopeless. 1 in 3 girls has seriously considered suicide. And yet the main solutions offered? More meds, more labels, more quick fixes that don't get to the root of the problem. This video is for the parents who are done chasing symptoms, for the ones who know deep in their gut that something deeper is going on, and who are ready to explore a different path. We're going to talk about the neurological side of anxiety and depression, and how things like subluxation, dysautonomia, and vagus nerve dysfunction may be playing a much bigger role than anyone has told you. You're going to learn how modern life creates the perfect storm for nervous system overwhelm, and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help your teen finally start to heal from the inside out. And the numbers, they're only getting more sobering. Between 2011 and 2020, the rate of mental health struggles in teens didn't just rise, they nearly doubled. What makes this even more puzzling is that during that same time, we've actually seen some improvements in teen behavior. There has been a drop in things like underage drinking and teen pregnancy, and yet anxiety and depression, they are still skyrocketing, cutting across all ages, all backgrounds, and hitting harder than ever. And then dig a little deeper, and it gets even more concerning. Teenage girls are over twice as likely as boys to report struggling with anxiety and depression. We're talking 1 in 3 girls dealing with anxiety and 1 in 4 battling depression. And those aren't just statistics. There are daughters, our sons, our nieces, our nephews, our students, our neighbors. There are kids who are trying to keep it all together while they're quietly falling apart. Many experts have pointed fingers at the rise of smartphones and social media. And yes, those things absolutely play a role. But what we found is that this mental health storm didn't start with TikTok or Instagram. It actually started way earlier, deep within the nervous system. And that's where the real conversation begins. So let's start with something that's often overlooked. Anxiety and depression aren't just chemical imbalances that need to be medicated away. That's the traditional view. And while it might offer some temporary relief, it misses a deeper layer, what's actually happening within the nervous system. See, the body's autonomic nervous system has 2 main jobs. First, revving us up when we're in danger through the fight or flight response, and then calming us down through rest and digest. When that system gets out of balance, when it's stuck in high alert, that's called dysautonomia. And that chronic, unrelenting stress state that many of today's teens are living in without even realizing it. One of the most important players in all of this is the vagus nerve. So this is the main highway of the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that helps your teen recover from stress, connect with others, regulate their emotions, and feel safe in their body. This nerve runs all the way from the brainstem down through the body touching nearly every major organ along the way. It controls things like heart rate, digestion, and inflammation, but also plays a huge role in how calm, connected, and emotionally regulated we feel. When vagus nerve function is poor, whether from stress, subluxation, or trauma, it's like trying to calm a storm without an anchor. Teens with low vagal tone often feel emotionally raw, hypersensitive, and overwhelmed by even the smallest stressors. Their nervous systems can't shift out of fight or flight mode, and that's a huge part of what keeps them stuck. Now, where does this all start? Way earlier than most people think. This is what we call the perfect storm. It often begins during pregnancy, especially if a mother is under a lot of stress. Those stress hormones actually cross the placenta and impact the baby's developing nervous system. Then, if birth is difficult, say through a C-section or with the use of vacuum or forceps, there can be subtle injuries to the upper neck and brainstem that impact the vagus nerve right from the start. Add in things like chronic ear infections, antibiotic use, food intolerances, or even environmental toxins, and the nervous system becomes overwhelmed. By the time that child hits adolescence, their nervous system is already dysregulated. And then we throw in social media, sleep deprivation, academic pressures, and a diet of processed food. That's the storm. As parents, it's important to know what to look for. There are physical signs like trouble sleeping, changes in appetite, gut issues, getting sick all the time, or constantly feeling tired. But then there are also emotional and behavioral signs. Your teen might seem withdrawn, unusually irritable, overwhelmed by small things, or they have lost interest in the things they used to love. These aren't just teen moods. They're often red flags that your child's nervous system is in overdrive and can't find its way back to calm. So how do we actually get to the bottom of it? That's where neurologically focused chiropractic care comes in. At E320 Chiropractic, we use a set of scans called Insight Technology to measure how well your child's nervous system is functioning. So one of the most powerful tools that we use is heart rate variability, or HRV. It helps us to see whether their body is stuck in that stress mode or able to bounce back and regulate properly. And when we see dysautonomia show up on these scans, it finally gives parents the answers they've been searching for. From there, we then go ahead and build a care plan specifically designed for your teen. And then using gentle, neurologically targeted adjustments, we help turn down that fight or flight response and stimulate the vagus nerve to bring back balance into the nervous system. When the communication between the brain and the body is restored, emotional regulation gets stronger, sleep starts to improve, and that constant feeling of being on edge begins to melt away. It's not about covering up the symptoms. It's about helping your teen feel safe, connected, and capable again. So let's be honest, being a teenager today is no small feat. The pressure, the pace, the constant noise, it's a lot. But here's the part we want every parent to hold on to. The teen brain and the body are designed to heal. When we remove the interference, when we calm the chaos in the nervous system, they can bounce back. Their resilience is built in. We just have to clear that path. That's exactly what we focus on at E320 Chiropractic. We don't just treat or cure anxiety or depression. What we do is go deeper to the foundation of the nervous system itself. Because when that system is overwhelmed, stuck in stress mode, and unable to regulate, every part of life feels harder. But when we restore balance, real healing can happen. We've seen it time and time again. Teens who come in exhausted, anxious, shut down, and slowly start to light up again. Not because of a pill, but because their brain and their body finally feel safe enough to heal. We can't count the number of parents who said, "Why didn't someone tell us this sooner?" They finally feel hope again. They feel empowered. They realize they don't have to settle for symptom management or medication alone. There's a whole other way to help their child that actually gets to the root cause. If your teen is struggling with anxiety or depression, there's a very good chance that their nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And we want to help you find out. Click the link in our bio to learn more about how we can walk this journey with you.